Hello friends, this is Dr. Sunil Kakkar from Poddar Management and Technical Campus Jaipur. Today we'll be discussing about sampling and sample size determination. Sampling is an important concept in research methodology and is very important to understand for all the researchers. Sampling is the process of obtaining information about an entire population by examining only a part of it. It is important to note that in the process of research, it is very difficult to collect information from the entire population. So, we collect information with the help of samples. The respondent in such a case through which we can collect information is treated as a sample. Sample should be true representative of population characteristics without any bias so that it may produce valid and reliable results. Why do we do sampling? What is the purpose of sampling? Here we'll be able to identify few points which briefly describe the purpose of sampling. Sampling can save time and money. As discussed, sampling is a part of an entire population. So, we need not to collect information from an entire population and hence it saves our time and money. Sampling remains the only way when population is large or infinite. It is to note that the population may be large or infinite depending on the nature of our study. So, in this case, we require sampling. Sampling may enable more accurate results as it is conducted by trained and experienced investigators. What is the size of the sample? This is the question which is always there in the mind of a researcher. There are few points to consider before determining the actual sample size. If the sample size is too small, it may not serve to achieve the objectives. And if it is too large, it may incur huge costs and waste resources. Generally, a small sample size is considered as less than or equals to 30 and large sample size is considered as more than 30, but it is not the appropriate solution. We have to consider so many things before finalizing the sample size. Size of the sample should be determined keeping in view the following points. Number 1. Nature of the universe. Universe may be either homogeneous or heterogeneous. If the items are heterogeneous, we require a large sample size. But if the items of the universe are homogeneous, a small sample can serve the purpose. Second, nature of the study. If the items are to be continuously studied, the sample size should be small. For a general survey, the size of the sample should be large. Number 3. Type of sampling. Type of sampling or the sampling technique also plays an important role in determining the size of the sample. Please note, the larger the sample size, no matter what the type of sampling is always considered as good. Standard of accuracy. If the standard of accuracy is to be kept high, we shall require relatively larger sample, which means the larger the sample is, the higher the accuracy is. Availability of finance and resources. This is also an important point before considering the size of the sample, as amount of money available for the study does matter. There are few other considerations like nature of units, size of the population, size of the questionnaire, and availability of trained investigators before considering the size of the sample. As per Air University Sampling and Surveying Handbook, we have three formulas to determine or to calculate the sample size. It says, if the nature of the study is such that the researcher has to report the results as percentages or proportions of the sample, we need to apply the given formula, where small n is considered as sample size required, capital N is considered as number of people in the population, capital P is considered as the estimated percentage of the population possessing attribute of interest, capital A represents the accuracy desired expressed as decimals, and Z represents number of standard deviation units of the sampling distribution corresponding to the desired confidence level. We have to apply the given formula if the nature of the study is such that the researcher has to report the results of the study as mean or averages of the sample, where small n represents sample size required, capital N represents number of people in the population, capital P represents estimated standard deviation of the attribute of interest in the population, capital A represents accuracy desired expressed as decimals, and Z represents number of standard deviation units of the sampling distribution corresponding to the desired confidence level. Formula 3 or the given formula is applied if, on the other hand, the nature of the study is such that the researcher is planning to report the results in a variety of ways, or if the researcher is getting difficulty in estimating percentage or standard deviation of the attribute of interest, where small n represents sample size required, capital N represents total population size either known or estimated, small d represents precision level, usually 0.05 or 0.10, which means 5% or 10%, and Z represents number of standard deviation units of the sampling distribution corresponding to the desired confidence level. Please note, the researcher requires high level of understanding and expertise in determining the sample size, whether it is through percentage or mean, or if the researcher is getting difficulty in estimating percentage or standard deviation. Generally, in large sample surveys, formula number 3 is applied to calculate the sample size. Thank you friends for watching this video. I hope I am able to clear some of your concepts in sampling and sample size determination, and what are the steps and formulas to calculate the sample size. For further queries, you can connect me at the given mail ID. Thank you very much.